When I came here in 2018, I think we had about 197 tourism facilities.
In the Volta region?
Yeah, at the time I came.
190?
197 or so. It was about 200 tourism facilities. As we speak now, we have over 500 of them.
In the Volta region?
Yes. So if...
Are you aware of this? You know this,
He would know because he deals with us a lot. So we have over 500 of them.
500?
Yes. So...
Tomorrow is World Tourism Day, and we are heading to Ave-Dakpa, where we have the crocodile. Remember the fetish priest was running away from the crocodile? So we are heading there now. We are heading to Ave-Dakpa tomorrow to celebrate the World Tourism Day. But before that, there was an interesting interview by the Director of Ghana Tourism Authority in Volta Region by this Master Bone from West FM. I was there to capture a little bit of it, and then we had a lot of insightful discussions. Did you know the Volta Region has at least 500 tourism facilities? A lot of other revelations came up, so I'd like you to hold on and then see what the discussion was all about. It's Double V for Visit Volta Crowd of Franklin here. Let's get in there for the interview, and then I'll see you when we get back.
Here in the Volta region, how are we going to celebrate this day?
Well, this year, the international event, is celebrated all over the world on the same day, simultaneously. So it is celebrated on the 27th of September each year.
Okay.
And each year it rotates around certain countries. So this year is going to Riyadh, the Kingdom of Saudi.
Okay.
So that's where they will do the international one on the 27th. That's tomorrow.
All right.
But each country also celebrates its own. And for Ghana, we are celebrating ours at Adan.
Adan, okay.
Yes. So there'll be a series of tree planting exercises, and then to accumulate into a Deba with some exhibitions and things going on.
All right.
So for Ghana, what happens is that even though there's a national celebration, the national office decides what each region should do to complement what they are doing.
All right.
So for the Volta region, in fact, not Volta, but for the country, all the other regions in Ghana, we are basically doing media advocacy on the theme, and then also we'll be engaging in tree planting exercises.
Okay. But if I may ask, what is this year's theme?
Yes, I was going to go to that.
Okay.
So the theme for this year is tourism and green investments.
Okay.
As investing in people, the planet, and for prosperity.
All right.
And we're looking at how we can move tourism from the conventional, traditional forms of investment into more green spaces, more green or more environmentally friendly investments. So that's what the whole thing is about.
Okay. All right, so listeners, in case you just join us, I have Mr. Alexander Nketia right here with me. He is a boss at Ghana Tourism Authority here, Volta Region. We're talking about tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a World Tourism Day on the theme Tourism and Green Investment. Yes. So any activities are lined for...
Yes, for us, like I said, virtually every region is engaging in this media advocacy, but also engaging in tree planting.
Okay.
But we decided to move it a little further by not just planting at one side. We believe that if we want to go into green investments, it also involves making sure that our environment is green enough, and can withstand the adverse effects of the human activities. We know that there's a lot of deforestation taking place, cutting down of trees and all that. And so we are thinking of reforestation in some tourist sites, later tourist sites. So we engage the tourist sites if they would have the time and opportunity and the people to do it. And I think that so far about 6 or so of them have agreed to participate.
Okay.
So as we speak now, we are collaborating with the Forestry Commission, and they have given us some seedlings, which we have distributed. As we speak now, my driver is on the way doing the distribution to the various tourist sites. So we've taken some to Amejope, Tafi Atome, the Afajatu, both sides. We have the at Bledi and then at Leatuwate. We've taken some to Bli, waterfalls also. So they are all planting simultaneously tomorrow. And then we intend to hold the regional tree planting exercise at Ave-Dakpa.
Ave-Dakpa?
Yeah, because there's a crocodile resort there, and we want to throw some light on the crocodile resort. I mean, these are unconventional, they are not really well known. So what we do is that we use the day in the region to kind of throw light on 1 or 2 of the lesser known areas, so that they also get a bit of prominence. So when people come in, they can also see them.
So it's a crocodile pond there?
Oh, there's a huge one there.
Oh, okay.
Akin to what you have in I don't want to mention it because I'll be promoting them. So even though I just came from there, but once I'm here, let me promote here.
Oh, okay.
So akin to the others you know over there. So,
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, the Volta Region, I don't know.
Yes, but that's the point. We don't read. We don't find out anything. Not you. Generally, the youth of today read less.
Okay.
Yeah,
We read less, and that's the reason. So if we were to be searching and reading, and we more of TikTok.
And the tourism board should be on TikTok.
Can I ask a question?
The tourism board should be on TikTok.
Can I?
It's not as if our office is there, but
Okay.
we probably will not be using it for the normal chit chats. That's
Okay.
but how many of the youth would really want to see that? They want to see the chit chats
But when I visit, when I'm on TikTok and I see tourism authority hall showing videos of the crocodile pond, it will interest me to visit there.
Well, I'm saying, how many people will even bother to look at that?
No, you have no idea. We want to see
I
that.
have a lot of them around me.
We need to
I
strategize.
have a lot of them around me like you. And when you go and you are watching what they are saying, you just look, why don't you flip to this side and look at something on tourism or director?
What I'm saying is that
I want to see this one, then they will look for you, the celebrities.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking out for.
Last
Celebrity
time I
talks.
visited Ave-Dakpa, I took the whole trip from home to the site and I uploaded it on TikTok. Come and see reviews. People were, where is that? Where is that? So tourism authority can also do the same.
Yeah, of course. We are not denying the fact that we can do that, and I think that we've been doing what we can.
Okay.
We need probably a strong IT department to help us, but
Okay.
we're doing what we can. Yeah.
Okay. Ella, you want to ask something?
He's doing a lot on that area.
Yeah,
for
so
us.
yeah, Krylov. Shout out
For
going
us.
out to Krylov.
Yes.
Krylov here has been in the studio.
He's doing a lot on that area for us. Yes.
Before I move to what I actually want to ask, I think that the idea about Ghana Tourism Authority bridging the gap when it comes to social media presence is an important discussion to have.
Oh, okay.
Because the people who make these sites go viral are the people who would put it or capture it, share it on the right platforms, and make sure that a lot of people are having to see it. So I think that he's already mentioned that they are trying their best to make sure that they can have a strong IT department that actually helps with that. Because now the world is gone digital. Let's not, we can't do without it.
Okay.
So my actual question is, I went on your website recently and I saw that Ghana has been elected to the United Nations World Tourism Organization on the Executive Council. I want to ask, we've all known about the UN for a very long time, but what exactly does this inclusion for Ghana mean for our tourism industry?
Well, let's take it from this perspective. If your president is made the chairman of ECOWAS, how does it benefit Ghana? If your president is made UN
Secretary General.
No, you can't be.
Okay, yeah, you can be president of your Secretary General.
Assuming you are the president, the president is the chairman of the Security Council for that month. What does it mean to Ghana? One, it brings you the level of prominence that you need in terms of being put out there in the world space. For who is the president? Who are the members of that council? Ghana is involved. Who is Ghana? It's not known. They will Google and find out who Ghana is. And as you go there, you'll be getting to know which country they are and what they have to offer. And even why that person, as against another country, was not chosen, was rather chosen. Good. Now, the second thing I can say is that your presence, his presence there, gives the country the leverage of putting your issues across.
Okay.
If you have any specific tourism issues, not local, because you are at the international level, you're not looking at your country level, but you're looking at the sub-regional, regional, and then international issues and how they impact on your country. You put them across there. So it also gives you the platform to be able to put issues that affect a number of countries that you are with. Because as he's there, he's representing the African continent. Understand? So what are the challenges that the African continent is going through? Especially if you take, let's say, COVID and its impact and how it has affected the African continent in terms of tourism, and the numbers have not been able to shoot up as, even though the UNWTO says that the numbers are gradually kind of coming up, they have not reached the levels that they were before.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity for the minister, if he's there, okay, to be able to put up issues that are affecting the reasons why we are not making the necessary impact. So I think that his presence there is important.
Okay.
Apart from giving the country the necessary recognition, it's like when a tourist site is made a World Heritage Site. What is it? But World Heritage itself, that organization promotes, okay? And therefore, when you are there, whatever promotion they do also tends to spin off on you. So I think that his presence there would give the country, and for that matter, the sub-region, the opportunity to be able to put issues on tourism that are affecting us. And if there's any, for instance, there's any support that the UNWTO, that's the United Nations World Tourism Organization, has for countries. And then, of course, if there are countries they are giving, then if I'm there, I must get some for my country.
Okay.
So these are things that we do.
Okay, I mean, well said. My other question has to do with being present in the Volta region. How closely does your office work with local authority, especially number one, Assembly, the National House of Chiefs, these two entities especially, because off air we spoke about a couple of things, and it's evident that sometimes people who want to invest in the tourism sector, especially private owned companies or private entities, find it difficult getting permits on specific things, e.g. hotels. I'm just saying it could be constructions on around tourist sites, because there is some level of bureaucracy that is in the system. So how closely do you work with all these entities to make sure that there is definitely due diligence done, but also there is a smooth passage for
yeah.
I think, let me put it this way. When I came here in 2018, I had about 197 tourism facilities.
In the Volta region?
Yeah, at the time I came.
190.
197 or so. It was about 200 tourism facilities. As we speak now, we're over 500.
In the Volta region?
Yes. Yeah. So if...
Akrylov, are you aware of this? You know this, Akrylov?
He would know because he deals with us. So over 500.
500?
Yes. So if we're not dealing with effectively with the agencies you are mentioning, I don't think we'll have been able to shoot from the mega almost 200 to the current over 500. And even counting, because as I sit now, there are more on my decks I need to work on.
As a quick follow-up, what is the plan of the authority to actually market and sell the Volta region? Because I'm from who I am a Voltarian, and that is what concerns me even the most. My people will say, I'm a Toyona.
Do you understand that?
I'm here to get an ever Bible to start reading.
Okay.
we know what I mean.
But do you know that the Hebrew language is the official language in heaven? You know that?
Well, you are saying so.
So I really want to understand what the roadmap is. How does the usual citizen play a role, and how effective is you reaching out to these people, helping the process?
I think that what I can say for sure is that as a region, and like I said earlier, when I came here initially, the first thing I did was to do what we call a SWOT.
Yeah.
And I did a personal SWOT in relation to my friends who are not from here, and the perception of the region was different. But I'm sure you can agree that since 2015, 2018, coming up to now, the general perception of the region is a bit different.
Okay.
As compared to what it used to be. As compared to what it used to be. And it's all because of, there are little things that we do that tend to together make it what it is.
Okay.
I told you of the first one was the Volta Fair, which we did in 2019. And in order to be able to put the fair in the proper state, we had to engage in this getting the brand ambassadors that we brought in. And that was a major change maker for us. It brought a big impact. And then, of course, we also, in fact, one of the things I also did was when I came realized that the region didn't even what do you call it, these social media accounts.
Oh, okay.
You know, me, I'm BBC, so you have to understand. But at least the youth now working with me, they understand this. So we didn't have any of these Twitters, what do you call it? Instagram,
Facebook. Yeah.
So we had to set up all these things, and now gradually we are beginning to work. He's helping us a lot in that area.
Oh, okay.
Giving us the information, the data, and then my people are putting it in there. Periodically, we try to see where we can boost the site and things like that. So that's it. But these are where the youth are very much interested in. So like you're saying, TikTok is an in thing now. Probably could be another avenue to begin to set up an account for the region and put some things there. So that's something we can even link the account so that automatically whatever you put in goes into all these sites. So that's fine. That's one thing. But what I've always been saying is that each and every one of us should be an advocate for the region.
Okay.
Each young person who is conversant with the social media platforms and environment or social media space should be able to be a marketer for the region.
Okay.
You don't have to do much. It's simply, we all come from one area or the other where there's one attraction or the other. How many of us just go there and take a selfie? Charlie, I'm here, and put it out there. We don't. We go to our villages for funerals. After the funeral, we just, and we are gone. And when we are talking about funeral tourism, people are complaining. So I think that each and every one of us, be it the chiefs, the opinion leaders, the youth, each and every one of us, how many of our chiefs and codes have you seen going to their traditional areas and snapping some of these sites and putting on their own platforms? And they're very prominent, they have a lot of followership. And I'm sure if they did, you'll find that all those who go onto those sites will begin to find out where it is and then begin to want to go.
Okay.
So each and every one of us should be an advocate. See, yes, talking about the fact that we should probably have a much more stronger social media presence. That's true.
Okay.
And I think that it doesn't come easy.
All right.
It needs resources, you need equipment. See how you have to go and bring all these things to do that.
Yeah.
If you don't have the resources to get these things, it's problematic. But I believe that we should all, it's about collaboration. It shouldn't be one office that does all. It should be collaborations. West FM is doing something. This FM is doing something. Can we put all into that potpourri and sieve it out and get the best out of it? That's what we need to do.
All right.
Yes, I mean, so that at the end of the day, what comes out, what we as a region want to put out there is the best.
Okay.
So I think that we should learn to. I don't see collaboration.
I want to ask this basic question, Mr. Nketia. I want to take you back a little. What qualifies a site to be called a tourist site?
Good. Previously, let me put it this way in a proper context. Prior to this incident that happened in Kintampo, Tourism Authority was not regulating tourist sites. We didn't have the capacity. There was no law for us to go in there. Even though we considered them as part of the tourism space, we didn't have the listen. So that served as an immediate warning that look, we need to set up and get some things done. Therefore, quickly the law was made, which is called the LI 2393, which is for tourist sites.
Okay.
And so that brought them now directly under our purview.
Okay.
And so now for you to be called a tourist site, you ought to be registered and licensed.
Okay.
And the license is not just a paper that you get, but it's a procedure that you go. It's just like the hotels and things like that. When you say a hotel has a license, it's not that they just had it, but would have taken them through a series of, support services, advising them, getting them to put up and to reach the level that they must be before the license is issued. That's like going for a driver's license.
Okay.
You should have learned how to know the road signs, how to move the vehicle and all that before it is issued to you. So it's the same way. So we also are going through the same. It's not too long ago, about 2016 that it came out. So we are still gradually putting, because most of the sites, like I said, for the privately owned sites. It's because they came in with their money, they quickly do and they get everything. But for these community-based tourist sites where there's virtually no money, we need to hold their hands and bring them up gradually until they can meet the basic standards, and then that is when you can call them. So I normally say we have more of tourism resources. Okay, because they are more in their raw state than in the developed state. That's what I mean. And that's what I normally say. Look, for Volta we have but Ghana in general we have a lot of tourism resources, but are they developed to the point where we can call them attractions? Because when you say an attraction, it attracts. You understand me? Do we have those that? Yes, a few of them, and they attract because of their own natural appeal and aura around them. Like you want to go to the waterfalls, it has its own natural appeal and things like that. So naturally they draw people. But you go to other countries where they didn't have that, but they've done this. They've done artificial waterfalls. Okay. So that is the difference. So we have a lot of resources, but are not really developed. And others don't have, but are creating. Yes, I mean, so that is the difference. But I think that so to be a tourist site, you ought to have gone through the minimum regimen of regulations and licensing. Then we can then put you there.
But my last question would be, I know it might not really be the authorities' cup of tea, but
why should I be drinking it? Why do you want me to drink so much this cup of tea?
In terms of job creation, do you have like any specific targets for these tourist sites, especially the ones that are registered under you? How well their staff are taken care of, and how they are able to, replicate or create jobs for the communities in which they reside. And is there a drive towards that? Because today to find work to do is really hard, and tourist sites also provide an opportunity for the young people to be able to get something to do with their hands. So, and also like what is the safety of most of our tourists to these sites, working with the employees there? What is the quality of employment?
Well, thank you. I think that there are laws in the country that regulates employment, and so it will be difficult for me to go into somebody's remit. Because that's what we call the national minimum wage, and they are all there. The Labor Act is there. So whichever area you find yourself, whether in a hotel, whether in a tourist site, or whether in a restaurant, wherever, the same Labor Act regulates that entire space. So that is fine. But each tourist site would definitely need a site manager. And then we need the tour guides. Or the site guides, or the site guides. You understand me? And every one of these tourist sites we have in the region, whether they are formal or informal, have people working there. Now, the law that I mentioned, the LI 2393, which regulates the tourist sites, also makes it mandatory for every tourist site before we can license you to have what we call a governing council or a governing body. And the governing body, the principally says that there should be the district assembly involved, the traditional authority involved. So going back to what you asked about traditional authority and the Ghana Tourism Authority. And the reason being that they are the custodians of our culture and things like that. The assembly is the principal development agent on the ground, and tourism authority is the technical backstopper for the industry. But it also allows that every tourist site must include in this governing body other stakeholders whose activities or whatever impinge on the area. So we realize that most, and also goes to answer his question about the collaboration with the traditional authority. We realize that for the Volta region, most lands do not belong to the chiefs per se. They belong to clans and families and things like that. Unlike other areas where the chiefs have absolute control over. So it makes the dynamics a little different. So once we have the traditional authority there, you still need the landowners there. Because they are the actual owners of the lands. So we put them into a group, and then they'll select one person who would be representing them on the board. Okay, and then you have women's group. You have, I mean, depending on the kind of site and what the dynamics are.
Okay.
You have the different types of different sections of the community represented on that governing council. So they then serve like the board of directors on behalf of the community, and the community is more like the custodians or the custodians of the property or whatever it is. So whatever it is you are doing, you take decisions there, and Ghana Tourism Authority is represented, so we can give them the technical advice on what to do, what not to do, whether it's right or not right, and things like that. So we are working in tandem with these groups to ensure that things go well there. So yes, the sites have engaged site guides and site managers and all that, but how much are they generating to be able to take on more? You understand me?
Yeah.
And what we do is that the law also regulates that we should license site guides and tour guides.
Oh, okay.
So now you cannot work at a tourist site if you're not licensed by the Ghana Tourism Authority.
Okay. Wow.
And you cannot apply as a tour guide. You know, the site guides are site specific. The tour guides can go around the entire country. It's okay. So you cannot be a tour guide if you're not licensed. You cannot be a site guide if you're not licensed.
Okay.
And the whole idea is to regulate and groom and train and give the capacity so that people can do well. So that then stays into the customer relationship between the tourist and the site. After that one, I think that by and large will depend on the level of skills that the site guides have or have been imparted with. So yes, we do periodic training. I go to the sites, I engage them, I find out what the challenges are. We have books there that take records. So at least I'm taking record from not less than 10 tourist sites.
Oh, okay.
So I'm able to tell at any point in time at the end of each quarter how many visitors came to this tourist site, and we report all this to the national office, which is used to generate the data for the national data. So that is what we do. I mean, so yes, we have engaged people. Are they earning enough to engage more? I would say no, because they are smaller. Like I said, the only way we can make that kind of impact we want is when we're able to get the private sector come in to join hands with these communities to do the PPP thing we're talking about.
Okay.
So they have the wherewithal, can invest better, and probably have the technical know-how to run these sites on a more professional basis, and therefore be able to generate more revenue. Then they can then engage more people from the communities. You know what I mean? So that is how it is. But for now, I can say that, look, yes, indeed, I can, if off the top of my head, I cannot just snap it up, but I know that on the average, each tourist site has no less than 5 people working there.
Okay. So, Mr. Nketia, I want to bring this back. I was on Facebook recently where a friend of mine, we are friends on Facebook, tweeted that we are tired of tourism sites. We need events to boost the aspect of tourism. That's a creative aspect. In a Volta region, are we getting that?
Are we getting events?
Yeah.
Well, Volta Fair is coming up. So,
Okay.
so it's a big event for the region. But you see, it's interesting.
Yeah.
When they open the avenue for events to be provided for the December in GH.
December in GH, yeah.
I posted it out there. Those who are in a creative environment, I coaxed them. Up to now, nobody has been able to bring it.
Last year, there was no event from the Volta region.
And this year there will be 1 or 2. They'll be coming to about 2 of them.
Okay.
But even then, they are not being organized locally from local. It's people who are from here who are coming to do some things here.
Oh, okay.
You understand me? But I have thrown that challenge. Nobody is coming up. So what are the creatives in the region doing?
The thing
Are they sleeping?
The thing has always been about information and how
The information is out there.
yeah, how
How do you want the information? Because beyond the return secretariat, push this and out everywhere you went to, the information was there, calling for events. So what information again?
how well the reason I am saying this is it has also got to do a lot with how the information is disseminated. Again, that's why we have to bridge the gap between
I mean,
social
disseminate.
media.
I want to understand. So what is when you say how the information disseminated? Because
So
they use
how many people
my office used social media throughout. In fact, they didn't even use any formal
Agreed. And we have agreed that there's a huge gap bridging that has to be
forget
done.
about
when
my
it comes
regional
to-
office. Forget about
Good.
my regional office.
Okay.
It was being handled at my national office where they have a team.
Okay.
So it was on all social media platforms.
Calling for events.
Yes. It came twice. I mean, when I say twice, they even did the first one,
Okay.
rolled it out, and then opened again for second round. Nobody here. So your social media, your events or what you call them, they are all dead.
Yeah, so it's a duty call for.
They must sit
for
up
events
seriously because
next
I
year,
don't.
yeah.
I mean, let's face facts.
Yeah.
I don't know what they want me to, whether they want GT to organize the events. It is yours. That's where
don't
your
know.
private sector end.
Mm.
Okay? So all these events, guys, these creatives in the industry, and you see, so I last time I was asking myself, we have a lot of big time musicians here. Are they collaborating?
I
That's
have
long
a
distance.
musician
That's
here.
long
He's a
distance.
musician.
No, I'm just, I'm not in that space. So but I'm asking myself because
Kain, are you guys collaborating?
I'm just asking myself.
No, that's
I
a
mean,
long
are we getting? Because I'm just wondering why.
Yeah.
For instance, we have this festival going on, and I've not seen any big acts involved. You understand me? Or if not even a big, what about those we have in the region?
Okay.
Those we have in Ho.
Yeah.
Couldn't they have come together? Look, it's not about Togbe finding cash for you, but create the opportunity for yourself and do a concert that people come and pay and watch.
The thing is,
Why is it not happening?
they complain about sponsorship.
Good. So, but everybody has money challenges. So, what do we do? But if you, as a group of artists, decide that we're going to come together and we're going to take the stadium, we're going to take this place, we're going to take that place.
And the
We
studio
want-
is not for free.
I'm not saying it's for free, but how much will they charge you to use the stadium? Let's face facts. We all know how much they charge you for all kinds of events that take place. How much do they charge? That someone is because I'm not getting sponsorship. All the money they are making, what are they using for? They should invest some in their businesses, and that also involves creating events for yourselves and getting people to come and attend and pay. It's not every time that there must be larges coming into your pocket to go and do it every time. No. We should begin to look at sustainable even sponsorship.
Okay.
When I say sustainable sponsorship, you come to me and I give you 200,000 Ghana cedis now. Do an event. Then you come next year again, you want another 200,000. How sustainable is it?
No.
How did you manage the 200,000 so that you can now leverage on that to do better without coming to me? So I can find another 200 for another person.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of people coming up. And if you, the big ones, are 200,000, 100,000, then how would the smaller ones also come up? But if you were given 200 and you utilize it sustainably and make sure that you made enough money and kept some for your next show, you wouldn't be going back looking for sponsorship, but rather you would rather be pulling the smaller ones up. So I have been asking myself, why are they? Why are they not doing anything? I'm not saying people should not sponsor. No. Events ultimately require a lot of sponsor because there are a lot of things that you need to spend money on. And I'm into events, so I know. We do a lot of events as tourism authority, so we know. But I'm asking myself that I'm doing events that I don't charge for. That's different. If I'm doing an event that I'm charging for, what about that? You understand me? I don't know, but that's my thinking. I'm not in the space, so I wouldn't be able to.
We'll take the final question from
yeah.
Salam. Salam, you want to ask something? Yeah.
Okay, it's more of a question suggestion, but I have something to ask before just to be sure.
Okay, all right.
Is the museum part of the tourism authority?
You see, museums all fall under the museums, the forts, the castles, and all of these things fall under the Ghana Museums and Monuments Board.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it doesn't fall directly under Ghana Tourism Authority.
Okay.
Even though we invest part of let's take care from it. The Tourism Authority does not see, we don't differentiate.
Okay.
Okay.
Because when the visitor comes from outside or from Accra or from Kumasi into Ho or into any space within the country, they don't know whether this belongs to this person or belongs to that person.
Okay.
Wherever they enter, they want a seamless experience. Yes, they want the experiences to be seamless. It's using truncate here, it's not for me, so no. They've come here, they go to the Museums and Monuments Board, fine, everything is fine. They move to a hotel, it's fine. They move into a transportation to the site, they get to the site, it's fine. They want that seamless experience until they leave your space.
Okay.
So what we do is, whatever resource we have, If we believe that there's something going wrong somewhere and that it needs certain kinds of facelift, when the funds become available, we invest there. So the National Museum, the Ghana Tourism Authority renovated it.
Okay.
We supported them to do the renovation. You understand me? Because when people go there and get the experience, it's not about Ghana tourism, it's about Ghana. So that's the whole thing that we should be looking at.
Okay. So the whole museum here, okay, I've been there before. So when you go to Accra Museum, it's a very much different picture than,
of course, Accra
than the whole museum.
Accra.
And now, Ella,
that's the national one.
Yes. Now you mentioned that you had, I think, over 100.
500.
No, just for Volta Region, 190.
No, he said when he came, they have 197. Yeah. Right now, they have 500
like tourist spots in Volta Region.
You know what I say? Not tourist attractions.
Yeah.
Spots.
Tourism facilities.
Tourism facilities.
Yeah. So it includes the tourist sites, hotels, restaurants. I've not included Choba and drinking bars. So you see, if I add that one, we have about almost like 10,000.
Okay. When foreigners come to town or they visit other places, one of the first places that they look out for is the city's museum, like the town's museum. It doesn't happen only in Ghana. Like in well-developed nations, they like going to the museum first.
You say in where?
Like other.
No, you may use some term.
Well-developed.
Okay,
no, what I'm saying is.
I'm just analyzing that for you.
Okay, fine. But what I'm.
No, I'm just teasing you.
I understand what you mean. But what I'm saying doesn't have to do with heavy infrastructure. I'm just saying that. Yes, if I finish the question, if I finish the thing, like, don't you think that it's part of your like, imagine if a foreigner comes to town, like they don't know the layout, they don't know. Some people are not very internet savvy. Definitely adults also travel, right? People 50, 60 years, they also partake in tourism. So let's say you have that part covered with the social media where people who are young and youthful can easily access whatever they want to access. There are some people who still take these things very seriously. Like they want to go to the museum, they want to see how the creative powers of the region is, and the museums are the place to find that thing out. So when I went to the museum, I was expecting that I should get not a comprehensive picture of what is going on in the region. Like, okay, now I want to be like, I imagine I'm just coming to the region. I want to know where to go to, like the place you mentioned. If I go to the museum, can I find? No, it's not far-fetched.
Okay,
let me land.
Okay,
like,
please do.
Can the museum give me a description of what to expect in that region, so that I know, okay, as I'm leaving the museum, if I should drive 3 hours to, I'm not saying you should draw the whole map, just even if it is just pictures or a list of attractions that. Do I have to find everything on social media? That's what a museum is for. The fact that it's called a museum, that doesn't mean that I should have
ancient artifacts.
People even do art exhibitions at museums all the time.
Well, I'm sure they do them here also. So that's
yes, they do it. It's supposed to be, a museum is just supposed to be a representation of where of the region or the town. So however it represents it.
I think I'll pass this question on to the curator of the museum when you meet him. Since it doesn't fall under me, so I don't want to make comments that I wouldn't know whether they have or they don't have.
Okay.
They don't have. I've been there.
Good, fine. I'm not going to make comments on that. But the point I want to put across is that in any jurisdiction you go, the first place you go to is the Tourism Information Center.
Okay.
Not the museum.
Yeah. Okay.
You go to a tourism. That's why we have the London Tourism Information Center. We have the Accra Tourism Information Center. If you go to all other countries, they have their tourism information centers.
Okay.
So that's where you go to first if you don't have the information. That's where you go to first.
Is it same as your office?
Yes, we don't have an information center, but my office plays that role.
Okay.
So all you need to do is look for the Ghana Tourism Authority office anywhere in the regions. Just ask for the place, go there, and then you can get the basic information you need and the guidance and even whom to talk to, who to call and all that. Okay. But we have all that information.
Okay.
So I think that's the first thing. So don't let us put too much stress on the museums people. They already have their challenges. The system is different.
Okay.
And it's all about funding. Also, some of these things you're talking about, if you have to go and do the print out, who's going to pay for the cost and all that. It's all part of the issues. And don't forget that the revenues they generate here, those tokens, 2 cedis, 3 cedis people pay, it doesn't stay here. It goes into a consolidated fund and goes back to the national coffers. And then they are then giving subvention to run.
Yeah.
The same thing with us. We don't generate, nothing generated here stays with us. In fact, you have 48 hours within which to pay it into the account or trouble for you.
48 hours.
Otherwise, I will be at PAC, Public Account Committee.
Mr. Nketia, thank you very much. We're taking final words from you concerning the World Tourism Day. Yeah.
Yes, so like we said, tomorrow, the 27th of September, is the World Tourism Day. It's being celebrated all around the world. And Ghana, we're celebrating it at Ada. And for the Volta region, we are undertaking a tree planting exercises at various selected tourist sites.
Okay.
Like I said, we have Tafi Atome participating. In fact, they've all confirmed that they've received their seedlings now.
Okay.
And so I know tomorrow is going to come off. But we want to focus for the region on Ave-Dakpa in the Akachi North district, where they have a crocodile pond.
Okay.
We want to see how we can help to bring that image up also, because they also had some challenges some time ago. Okay. But we had...
Yeah, I heard it was closed.
Yeah, we actually closed it down so that we could do the assessments properly. And like I said, the site must be properly registered and licensed. They hadn't done that. So when we got to know, we went in and closed it down. But for now, we have been able to go through some of the basic steps of putting them, of regularizing their activities. And that's the reason why I'm even going there. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone there if they have not started. But they've started the processes, and I'm sure very soon. I've actually been there. I've assessed the place. I've given them the list of things they should do to make the place look better. Okay. And that's what we do. We go assess and give you information on what the technical knowledge on what to do. Okay. And so if we can't, you come to us. We can help you. If we can, begin to put them in place. And once these things are okay, we license you and you're good to go. So we are putting eyes there because I think they are gradually getting there. And so tomorrow, the is it Akachi North, DC?
Yeah, it's Akachi
Honorable
North.
Simon, is it Simon Usu? Yes. He is going to be the special guest for us, and then we will go there now. I'm informed West FM is coming there to also provide. So
we'll be there tomorrow.
We'll see you there, and then probably we'll follow up more on the conversations.
Okay. Yeah. I have Krylov here. I can't close without taking words from Krylov. Krylov, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
How is tourism in the region?
As always. Obviously, it's the tourism capital of Ghana, so all good.
All good. Okay. So tomorrow will be in Ave tomorrow?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely will be there.
Okay.
I think let me correct the name. The honorable's name is Simon Ofosu.
Simon Ofosu. Simon.
Honorable Simon Ofosu.
Okay.
Yes,
okay. He's the DC Akachi North.
Akachi North, yes.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
And also before you close, I also want to make sure that as a child of the land, I am correcting the pronunciation. It is Ave-Dakpa.
Ave-Dakpa, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well.
Don't worry, thank you. Yeah,
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Once Mr. Nketia is here, we want to make sure that when he switches a bit, we can bring him back.
That's okay. It's
Ave-Dakpa.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Nketia, for joining us. Krylov, thank you very much.
Thank you also.
Listeners, this is Joy News.
So you heard it all. Tomorrow is going to be at Ave-Dakpa. Definitely we'll be there to capture it and then bring you details about what is happening there. We hope the crocodile doesn't chase there. All right. So on that note, I'll see you when I see you here. I keep forgetting this. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up and then that'll be a good thing, yeah? All right. I'll see you in the next one.